Now, I've been terrified of attempting what you're about to watch in this video because, well, I had to spend a good few £1,000s on cedar for the purpose of setting it all on fire. Now, the cedar that I ordered is 3.6 meter lengths of shadow gap cedar, and the shadow gap is basically the setup of the tongue and groove. So instead of a normal cladding system where the boards are all pushed up against each other and it's all flush, with this there's going to be a gap between each board which forms a shadow, and it just makes the wall look a little bit more interesting than your normal tongue and groove cladding that everyone uses. If you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm installing the soakaway at the tiny house. If you're not sure what this is, these crates basically get wrapped in a membrane that allows the water in and the soil not in, and it basically acts as a massive underground puddle. It's where all of the water from the land, the roof, will drain to, and its purpose is to just get all of the water to this one space underground, and then it can filter in to the soil, and that will prevent you having any standing water, flooding. I'm very fortunate the soil's super good here and I don't actually really need a soakaway, but I thought it's better to have one than not. The only issue is digging creates a lot of waste soil, and I needed to make a retaining wall to hold back that soil. And I used plywood and some little wooden stakes to hold the base of the plywood so the weight of the soil didn't push the plywood onto me. Now, when I was hitting the wooden stake into the ground, kind of got angry because the wooden stake wasn't going into the ground very well. And I used all my energy to hit the wooden stake, and I missed, and I hit my left hand that was holding the wooden stake, and I broke my own hand with a hammer. So yeah, my bad being a bit MIA, but everything you're watching in this video, my hand still hurts a lot. So if I look more unhappy than normal, that's why. Doing this sort of thing with a broken metacarpal, yeah, it's not that pleasant. I've got a photo of the moment it happened, but YouTube definitely wouldn't allow me to put that photo in because it's grim. You can actually see the scar of, yeah, I'm not even going to get into it because YouTube's very strict on their rules. But anyway, I'm going to shut up now and let this Dinlo explain some stuff to you. As you can see, it's tongue and groove. They all slide together, and this is called a shadow gap. Now the shadow gap part, its tongue is super narrow, so I don't want to burn that. So I'm going to set it up so the fire, which is going to go through the chimney, doesn't hit any surface that isn't the visible bit, because I don't want that catching on fire. So face, face, face. And this is just electrical wire, if you're wondering. It's probably something better you can use, but that's fine. Now at this point you're probably thinking, Chris, why on earth are you burning that really nice cedar? And I'm with you, I was really tempted to just leave the cedar as it was and let the sun naturally weather it, and with time it would become grey silver, or there's an option of just treating it with an oil or painting it whatever colour I wanted to. All of those options I thought long and hard about, and to me this is the best look you can get with cedar, and it's a technique. I'll put on the screen right now the two main terms that I see. I'm no expert on this, obviously. I mean, health and safety didn't really work on this one. You should really have fire resistant gloves, and these ones, they weren't. My hands melted a little bit. And then my thought to protect my arms and my shoulders was to wear a coat. But the thing is, wearing a coat next to a chimney that's on fire, you get quite hot, so I just took the coat off and I got quite burnt. Not from the actual heat of the fire itself, but when the chimney effect is in the final stages and the entire 3.6 meter chimney is on fire, there are chunks of molten cedar flying out the top. And when they land on you, it hurts bad. And I won't show you some of the footage that I've got where, yeah, I literally caught on fire in places, but it got this really amazing look, and it's not just for look purposes. This is actually a way of preserving timber. It's called carbonization. When you burn it, it removes the cellulose in the carbohydrates, and as a result, termites, funguses, and other animals do not like living in the timber, and therefore that will prolong the life of the cedar. It also makes the timber water resistant, fire resistant, and yeah, there's examples of burnt timber that's lasted well over 100 years. So there is actually a real purpose to doing it. But the main reason why I did it, well, the whole reason for this tiny house is to make it as stupid as possible. I want to do all the things that I'd never do on a development, because when you're doing a development and you're borrowing a ton of cash and you've got stupid monthly outgoings, you need to churn the property quickly. Whereas with this tiny house, this is my forever house and I want it to feel really special. So I'm doing a load of things to this tiny house that I'd never do on just a renovation or on a new build, because yeah, the amount of time that it takes to do this, it's not really worth it unless you're dumb like me. Put an Instagram story up the other day of the burnt cedar on the tiny house, and I got so many questions. The main one being, if you lean against the tiny house, is all that charcoal going to go on your clothes and your skin? The answer is yeah. Over time with rain, all the fines of the charcoal will get washed into the ground, and then after that, it really takes quite a lot of effort to get the kind of soot from the charcoal onto your hand. It's not really as dramatic as you probably think. But also, my question to you would be, how often do you find yourself when you're walking into your house running your hand along, say, the brick or concrete wall that you have? You just don't really do it. I can understand you'd accidentally lean into it and that might be annoying, but yeah, I'm completely fine with it to get the look that I'm going for here. If you want a more step-by-step, easy to follow guide than just this video, newsletter number 23, I broke down exactly the material, the cost, step-by-step, how to create the exact look that I've gone for. And I also do just want to say a massive thank you to every single person who's been reading my weekly newsletters. Like, I still can't believe how quickly it became a bestseller on Substack. And if you haven't already, I really recommend you click the link in the description or just search Havesomevision on Substack, click join, and you'll instantly be able to see all the archived newsletters. I mean, there's over 20 of them now on a ton of different topics, everything from escaping the 9-to-5, side hustles that I did that I know work, cost breakdowns of the London loft conversion, the easiest way to make 11 grand in the next 3 months, 11 grand profit that is. Now that side hustle actually has a startup cost, but newsletter number 5, the main side hustle that I did whilst being sat at my job, that side hustle has 0 startup costs. And without it, yeah, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in now. So if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you next I don't know if that's really going to happen, to be honest, because life's a bit mad at the moment. See you when I see you. SVR over and out.